What am I thinking? There we go. Got a mic on. I think that is backwards, but you know, hey, we're rolling. Got a mic on. Yeah, sounds good. I'll set up here. I'm at the airport and I'm off to Los Angeles. So I thought, hey, it could be fun if we just take a couple questions and do a little hanging. Haven't done as much on YouTube lately as I like to because of all the travel. If you're just joining me, any questions are good. It's Ask Robin Black. But I just got back from Singapore. Got back from Singapore. I was there and I saw Hello to UK. I will be in London June 9th commentating BKB 11. So hello to you in the UK. Singapore was fantastic. I was there for one championship and the show was incredible. Angela Lee, man, they love that girl. And hey, what up, 212 Daisy? So anyways, I was home for 22 hours and I was surprised, Boston, I was surprised how much I got rested in just less than a day. I feel great now. I'm excited. I'm pumped to go to Los Angeles for literally like one day-ish. Something super cool tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I don't know if I should tell you. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. I don't know exactly. Sometimes when you do things, people prefer to announce them themselves. I didn't ask, so we shall see, but it's going to be fun. What up, Orange County? Hey, I'd love to come to Boston. So the way I've been working things lately on my own is outside of commentary gigs. West Hollywood, hey, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there going to LA today, and I will be in West Hollywood by about, I would say, and I think I'm coming back tomorrow night. It depends if this other thing comes together that I do while down there. So anyone got any questions? Any questions for Ask Robin Black? Hey, genetics, what up? What are we thinking about here? Is Darren Till being underestimated by most pros in this Wonder Boy fight? Well, it's really hard to say, man. This is underestimated. It's a tricky one because you know when we'll know. You know when we'll know. There is a really cool thing going on where people want to talk about these fights. It captures their imagination. That's why we're doing this. That's what's happening here. You got a Rose question next. Please remind me about that one. I'm thinking Till Thompson right now. So yeah, we need to see this fight, right? And then we speculate. Well, we know that the Rory McDonalds of the world couldn't get to Stephen Thompson. We know that Jorge Masvidal couldn't get to Stephen Thompson. You know, we look at that and we're like, well, Darren Till can. What evidence do we have? And the answer is there isn't a ton. Terminal 3, you met me. You took a pic, you were wearing a Sencha BJ. Hey, I remember. Yeah, cool. There isn't a lot of evidence that Till can do it either. You know, it's not, he hasn't fought any kind of fight like this. We haven't seen anybody think GSP and Nate. We got Rose, GSP, and Nate. I should be writing this down. Getting to Cowboy, you know where he is. He wants to be there. So getting to him isn't tricky. Hey, thanks, Owen, man. Support from the Bay Area. Appreciate you guys. Muay Thai versus karate. Yeah, but everybody's everything now. That's the thing. These labels are not as applicable as they once were, right? And once upon a time, we'd look at Muay Thai versus karate on the internet and it'd be like, Muay Thai just kicking the shit out of these karate guys. But then we realized that the point karate strategy of manipulating space, you can't get to them. You know, yes, good point. Tom said it's actually MMA versus MMA. I'm actually getting to a point now where I don't even think of MMA as a thing anymore. It's just martial arts. It's fighting. It's free fighting. MMA seems like a temporary, you know, the 15-year period we've had, 20-year period we've had kind of looking at that advanced MMA feels like a stop along the way. It doesn't feel like it's really anything. One championship when I was just there, they don't even call it that anymore. It's just martial arts. One championship martial arts competition. Rose, Usman, What evidence? What evidence is there that Darren Till can get there? There isn't a ton. What does that mean? Not necessarily anything. Not necessarily. There was no evidence that Cody Garbrandt could do what he did. When we saw, rounds 2 and 3 against the level 47th ranked guy, he lost the second round and toughed it out in the third only a year earlier. So evidence isn't the be all end all. It's just what we have to go on. So somebody will get to Rose, Usman. It's again RFB Records Hot Lava. You can buy your Hot Lava shirt at shoprobinblack.com, by the way. These newer guys, it's a completely different game, and that is something that is the trick. It's like we're trying to compare using old metrics, old comparison points, and we're having a hard time. It is, but one has a karate base and one has a Muay Thai base. That's why Thompson was so successful, because of karate base. Yes. Somebody said microphone closer. Appreciate you pointing that out. Thank you. That's really good. How can I? I just did a breakdown of Joe. It's on my Instagram page. And Joe Rogan has a Taekwondo base. But when you look at those kicks, those are deeply developed. Started and where they ended up is always very different, and it's one of the beautiful things about it. It's one of the beautiful things. But when we're trying to compare Usman and Woodley, or Usman and Maya, it's hard using the limited metrics and the limited verbiage that we've developed. So we need to work on new ways to examine these guys, because they're new. It's like, we don't describe football the way we did when they had leather helmets. It's a different game. We don't describe art the way they did 100 years ago. This thing's changing rapidly. So, Usman, these guys aren't wrestling, boxing, and doing jiu-jitsu anymore. It's true free fighting. RDA would be champion if he was a proper size welterweight. He ain't a proper size welterweight. He's a little welterweight, but he can still become champion. Can Till block Wonderboy spinning kicks? That's a nice question. I like that. Let's get into some of those specifics. Of course he can. What does it take to block or get out of the way of a kick? What do you think about UFC in Russia? We'll talk about the kick in a second. I love Russia. I've been there twice this year, and I love it. And they love combat over there, but they have a lot of good combat. I don't know how well the UFC will do without putting Khabib in there, but if they put Magomed Sharapov in there, people will be into that. So you want to block a kick or be out of the way of a kick? What does it require? First thing, you got to see it. You got to be able to read it, and you got to not over-anticipate it. So through whatever you see, your brain runs an algorithm based on all the information that it's acquired of what that can be. Is this a jab with my right hand? Is it a fake to drop? Your brain has to identify that. So that's where it starts. So the first question is, can Till read what's coming? What do you think about UFC cutting Yair Rodriguez? That seems dumb to me. But that's my only thought. It seems stupid. So you must first identify it and not be overly fucking horny to figure it out either, because if you are, Steven will trick you into overcommitting to something. And so there's so many questions, and I really appreciate them, but I'm forgetting them all. I should have brought a pen out. I'm sorry. Making it second nature, yes, but also not anticipating it too much. So if you think it's a front kick and it's a spinning kick, or you're so worried about his hips and feet and core that he pops you with his hand. So that's the first thing you need to do. Can Till do that? Probably. I think Till loses first round and KOs Wonderboy in the third. If so, does that make you psychic? Or, it's possible. It's certainly possible. But, so first he has to see it. And then if you see it, you have to correctly read it, not buy into something that Wonderboy is telling you, and then you have to be in a position to deal with it. If somebody's spinning kick at your head, it's better to not have your head there than it is to try to catch. I'm trying to think. I've got a 1 minute breakdown up on my Instagram. Oh yeah, it was Ang Ong La Un Sung from one championship. He kicks right through the guard, and it hits here and here. You actually got Till, but Thompson's so unpredictable. Who are you putting your money on, mate? I don't put money on no fights, and I also really push heavily to. My hair is on fleek. I don't know what fleek means. I'm old. Is that an insult? Because you can't really insult me. Am I going to Periscope? I think I will Periscope today. Yeah. Yes, I will. You got Till beating Wonder Boy. Okay, so that was what I was going to say. Is I urge people to not. I got. But wait. Fleek is a good thing. Thank you. Wicked. Fleek equals hot dope fire. Awesome. I'll take that. So I urge people to not, make a pick early and then defend all of the ways. You're at work till 7. Okay, yeah, I'll Periscope after, before we fly off. Yep, place a bet. If you are placing a bet and you love betting, then make one. And until, if he's an underdog, he should be an underdog. Here's the thing. He should probably be a bigger underdog than he's going to be. Awesome. Owen, Darren weighing 7 pounds over yet on the channel. So I lost the rest of it, but thanks, Julius or Julius. Should Damien Maya retire? I don't ever say that. People should do what makes them happy. Range 1, Till versus Thompson. Range 1 is chest to chest, I call it. In there, well, that's hard to say. It's a competitive range for both those. Yona versus Tisha will be interesting. Yes, it will. Till has to work low kicks on the karate stance. So, now, you and I be like, we should kick that guy in the legs. And I haven't seen Infinity Wars yet. Stephen Thompson's like, I bet those guys think they should kick me in the legs. So he's prepared for that. And he's dangerous when you do the things that he wants you to do, or the things that he knows you will do. So when you try to kick him in the legs, he's prepared for it, probably with his hands. Your thoughts on Rose and any new challenges? I don't know. I'd like to see Rose fight next, but I like Rose. She's a very kind, sweet human being from the few times that I've met her. But also just a great little fighter, just a great little, just mentally tough. And it's not easy. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with necessarily. Who's the better ground game? No idea. I don't know. How much time have you spent doing Muay Thai? Quite a lot. I was in Singapore last week and I did Muay Thai at Evolve MMA. I took a Muay Thai class while I was there. I don't know who's up next for Rose. I haven't been keeping an eye on that. But yeah, I do Muay Thai. I'll go through long periods where I'm doing it a couple times a week, and then other periods where I'm doing way more jiu-jitsu. So talking about Wonder Boy side stance, it is tricky. It is really tricky. And he's spent a lifetime on it, so if you haven't spent a lifetime fighting it, it's very hard. Anytime somebody has 30 years of something and you have 3 months of it, it's tough. Pennington's Corner did a fantastic job, in my opinion. Fantastic job. The fighter wants that wanting out thing. If they let her out, she would regret it. She'll be so thankful. I know that woman is so thankful for them today, and I would be. There was you just want to be in there right to the end as best you can. Who do you think will become champ in the UFC before year's end? God, that's so hard. I think, you know what just hit me? Stipe and Cormier. I know that only Cormier would become another champ in this scenario, but he could do it. Cormier can beat. Now, Stipe is brilliant, talented, super athletic, awesome, love him. But Cormier can beat him. Doesn't mean he will, but he can. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Brian Ortiz, somebody's saying here. Brian Blaze says Brian Ortiz. Very possible. Though Max is nothing to fuck with, man. That's all the way. I don't know, man. If you take away that one exchange that Ortega had on Frankie, he's not on Max's level. Thoughts on Mauro Ranallo? I love Mauro. I've worked with him. Tom says, of course he can beat Stipe. He's DC. Good point. It's well-made, solid point right there. Um, but yeah, Max Holloway, sharp. Do you train in the gi much anymore? I've trained a few times, 3 times in the last month. Yeah, Valentina, I really like her too. Over at Stratford BJJ. I live out in Stratford, Ontario. Some of the time, although I haven't been there much lately with all the travel. Would you want to work with PFL? Yes, I would. I mean, I'm a freelancer, man. I'd like to work with any of them, but I really like the looks of that. I really like the looks of that so far. But, it's tricky. I saw Eve left the UFC world to go work for them. Eve's Everett's a friend of mine, and I haven't talked to him about it. I'd like to, because I'm like, it looks great, and I bet they're paying him well. I know where these things may or may not go. Did you start out in Taekwondo? Yes, I did. I'm a second degree black belt in Taekwondo. So you don't know where these jobs will go. And so in my world right now, I have many clients. Favorite fighter watch, somebody says Kukui. Love watching him too. My favorite is Cub Swanson and Jorge Masvidal, one of them. And then somebody say, would you fight Valentina Shevchenko for real? No, I would not. She would beat me up. I didn't see the question about UFC there. Tacos and tequila. Not today. Do I enjoy no gi over gi? I like them both. Lately I like gi. And no, I would not fight Shevchenko. I would not. She would kick the shit out of me. For real. I used to have a sparring partner for a good couple of years, Sandy Segura. She was a Canadian boxing champion, 135, so similar size. She beat me up a lot, but because they didn't want to get beat up by a girl. Do I like Adesanya? Yeah, Stylebender? Yes, I do. I like watching him. I like what I've seen so far, but he's going to have an interesting next little period. Did I see Big John and Joe Rogan? No, I didn't. I've heard people really said really great things. I just haven't been consuming anything. I've been mostly making things. If I had downloaded it for the flight over to Singapore, it's 24 hours of travel. I could have watched it there. What do you think about Till? I like Till. I like his game. His outside game that he was playing against other guys before Cowboy was really good and really dangerous. So he knows that game, and no, it's not binary. Either you do or you don't. He knows, but does he know, and is he sensitive to it on the level that Wonder Boy is? And the answer is probably not, but maybe enough. How does Till cover the distance? Yeah, but you don't want to chase. You maybe play outside. Maybe you can hit those legs because he understands the game and because he has sensitivity to that game. Maybe he can. You have a fighter's face. You are a better fighter than a musician. Thank you. I am a better fighter than a musician. Not by. I'm okay at both. You hope to see me on JRE. Who knows, man? Maybe really soon. Like tomorrow or something. Who knows? Yeah, Till's interesting one. You think Ferguson and Khabib will ever happen? I do think that will happen. I do think that will happen. And I'd like to see it. I'd like to see that. So, are you ready for Fedor versus Chael? Yeah, I am ready for that. Francis versus Derek, I like that. That's fun. But I'm ready for Chael versus Fedor. When are you starting your podcast? I've been talking about doing a podcast with Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy and I have been really working on it. And we were going to talk to Brent, Schaub, and Chin about putting it out through their networks. I've been so busy, and so has Dan. I've been all over the world the last couple of months. So I'm trying to slow it down. But I'll circle back to Dan as soon as I get back from this trip and see. That would be really good. Yeah, Dan's brilliant. And we think different, a little different, but we both really like each other, respect each other. So I would get a lot of information from him, and I know the questions to ask him. Yeah, in the podcast, we would analyze fights for sure. That'd be a big part of it. Dan is very, very great mind. but I believe that I know the questions to ask him to get even more out of it because I have relevant thoughts, right? Who's the best play-by-play man MMA commentator of all time? Play-by-play, like, you know, that is the first seat, right? It's either Mauro Ranallo, Classics, or it's John Anik. Because John Anik is a motherfucker. He's the type of guy you want. So Goldberg is, you may find entertaining. Somebody said, Dylan said Goldberg is better than Anik. What up, Francisco Trevino? Classically organized thinker, as well as fun and entertaining, but not too much to overshadow. Like, he's really good. He's the type of guy that you would want. Genetic talks way too fast. It has no natural pauses. I mean, these are preferences, right? It's okay to have that preference. Whoa, this question's popped up. I didn't know I could get it. Says Tom says Ariel. If you mean Ariel Hawani, I am so glad for that. I'm so happy for that guy. I am. Yeah, I really am. It's gonna be really good for him, especially him and Chael. Chael is going to mock him mercilessly. Hey, thanks. What did somebody say? Fleek? My hair's Fleek? Oh, Pompous Psycho, the Robert Greene book Mastery. It's great. Great. But yeah, Ariel and Chael. Chael is going to, that minute, Rogan. Ever trained with Sean Tompkins? A lot. I loved him. He was a good friend too. I learned a lot from Sean Tompkins. And Sam, Mark, Chris Hordesky, all those guys are good friends of mine, and I'm honored every time I get to commentate one of their fights or their guys. A lot of questions about Till Wonderboy. I'm glad people are so into that. I'm really, really excited that people are so into that one. But yeah, you got me thinking about it a lot now. George's last fight will be a 55. Do you agree? Yeah, maybe. Although George likes being big. I'm kidding, what up? George likes being big just physically. He likes it. Do you think judo is insignificant in MMA? Absolutely not. Judo is very, very valuable. Paul Daly, John Fitch, I did not. Till versus Wonderboy, it will be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting details. So most people can't really get to the legs of Wonderboy very much. Nobody has done it that much. Coming off, you're fighting for a third local title. Hey, congrats, brother. That's awesome. It's awesome. Where are you local? You're in my area, right? But yeah, it's exciting. I had a local title once. It was pretty cool. Like, I didn't even think about it. New England. Oh, okay. Whitaker Romero, another good one. You know who I'm actually excited about? Do you think Darren Till have one? There's a lot of Till questions. Robin, have you ever been in talks with Bellator? Never, actually. I wouldn't rule it out, though. I'm doing a Bellator breakdown tomorrow at Michael Bennett Page. Nunes used the low calf kick well. Yes, it is a beautiful kick. So maybe Till can use those low kicks because he does have that sensitivity to that outside game. You know, he doesn't have to get all the way in. He just needs to manipulate that outside sphere enough to get in to kick. So maybe there's something there. What do you think about the UFC ESPN deal? It's interesting. I don't know how many of us want language, man, you gotta keep working on language. It's gotta evolve, or we don't evolve. I'm gonna break down the video of 20-year-old Joe Rogan spinning heel kick. Who are a few fighters you think will change MMA game next? Stoppin is gonna do some pretty cool things. He's got a It was called the Score Fighting Series, and I don't know if they're on the internet anywhere, but a good dozen, maybe more with more. Americani versus Jason Knight. I think Knight, seems more complete. Americani kind of feels like he needs big things to happen early, but that can be a feeling. I don't know. I've spent a lot more time analyzing martial arts and a lot less time analyzing the individuals. Somebody said they had high hopes for Duo Choi. You still can. One fight doesn't do anything. Doesn't mean anything necessarily. Did you like one championship having kickboxing in the cage? Yes, and I don't think there were MMA gloves. I think maybe they have, but they've also done gloved. I do like it. I love one championship. Till seems to be big for that division. He is, but so Steven. Steven's a big dude. Stylebender. Saki. Yeah, Gokhan Saki, man. I love him. Listening to old videos, you notice the term punches and bunches. I hate that. People use it a lot. Any of those cliches, you can use them, but don't overuse them. Stylistically, you'd love to see Kelvin Gastelum versus Whitaker. Love it. That's one I really love, John. Been trying to find the right thing to break down on him. RDA Covington. That's, yeah, I'm giving that one a lot of thought. Covington is very distracting with all the other shit, but he can wrestle and hit. Wrestle and hit. He's just got an American game, you know? Whereas RDA is like, RDA's been out in Singapore, so I was kind of keeping an ear out to see if he was training. I was going to go sneak in and check it out, because I was just there for 5 or 6 days, just meeting with one championship. Who should this man? How do you think he would do in Olympic wrestling? I don't know. A guy like that, if he focused on anything, but he would want it. Right now, he wouldn't. You know, he'd do fine, but he wouldn't be dominant. But if he had spent the last 10 years just focused on that, he could easily be seriously dominant. If you had to pick a fighter to be with in a street fight, who would you pick? You'd take Bas Rutten. I'd take Nick Diaz. I'd straight up take Nick Diaz. But Bas Rutten's a fucking killer pick. Bas will go. He knows exactly. Man, Bas, I was with Bas, Shoney, and somebody else from that era, and they were talking about the street fights, or the bar fights they get in Japan. It was amazing. Use love your job, MMA, and make money. I don't know if there's some typing things going on there. How about Dominic Reyes? Which one's Dominic Reyes again? I'm sorry. There's 400 and 500 here, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, it's just not coming to my mind. There's 500 fighters in the UFC. I've just been studying a couple hundred in one championship. I've got a few dozen for BKB that I'm working on. You taking Ghana? That's a good one too. Henzo, good pick. What do you think about wrestlers from the Caspian area like Khabib coming in? Oh, he beat Kenny. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, man, I hope he doesn't see this. I feel terrible. Yeah. I like him. Yeah, I like him. Now that you mention it, I met his manager down in Chicago. Yeah, right. I met him down in Chicago. Right. Yes, he's a great fighter. Yes, he's a real good fighter. Modern, dangerous, mentally good. Yeah. Apologize for not putting the face or the game to the name. I won't make that mistake with him again. He's one to keep an eye on for sure. 225, he could be good. You saw the changes on weed. It's coming. Now, there's some chance that I might move to Singapore. The right scenario there. I love that company. I might move there. No marijuana there. You get caned if they catch you with it. But I can take it or leave it. It's not going to change my life a great deal. But I think those fighters should be able to use it for pain. Dillashaw Garbrandt rematch. You think it would play out similarly? I think it might look very different, but very exciting. So, Aikido. So Aikido is, as a philosophy, is incredible. Aikido should be a big part of everybody's life. Aikido is the philosophy of non-resistance. There are times when you don't want to resist things. You want to go with them. You want to flow with them. You know, the world changes around you. If you resist it, it causes you problems. If you go with it, it can work. And when Aikido was originally used as an answer to Judo, the philosophy of non-resistance worked. It just morphed into something stupid. So a lot of what you see is dumb, but the base philosophy of Aikido is great. I think BJ Penn in his prime would beat Khabib. Oh man, how cool would that fight be? Might submit him. Might. Or knock him out coming in. God, I got such a soft spot for Chuck, but I don't like the looks of that fight for him. But I know he would take it, go in bravely, and who knows? Oh, Nick got another choke from the bottom of the You think looking at Rogan, her use of judo is applicable at the highest level of demonstration? Yeah. I mean, oh, what's his name? I'm having a name thing today. back on JRE Fight Companion. Oh, thanks, man. What if I was in LA tomorrow? Who knows? It was more about weapon disarmament. Yes, that was part of it. Because non-resistance. When you took someone with Karita, there's Hapkido, yes. I've trained in Hapkido as well. Yes, it's non-resistance. We take your weapons away, and then we take your ability to do damage to us. We think of Justin Wren. I like him. Bellator is sleeping on Ren. See, I like him. He's good. He's dangerous and smart. Who should Lyoto Machida fight next? God, I don't know. Bisping? Whitaker Romero too? Similar to the first one. So the first one was really marked by Whitaker smashing at Romero for a couple of rounds, and then Romero coming on later, becoming mentally stronger and starting to take over. He learned so much from that, he might start that way. I would be pushing it, I'd make Romero work. Romero's also improved a lot. He's smart. He knows how to fight 5 rounds now. KG deserved the middleweight shot. Calvin? I think Calvin is one of the best in the world. To fart or not to fart? Just let it go. Just let it go. Pro Gamer asks to fart or not to fart. It's natural. You think Yoel takes the second fight? Well, then look at the third one, won't we? Van Damme versus Garbrandt 2. I didn't know there was a 1. I don't know. I missed that. But George is friends with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's told me some killer Van Damme stories. Van Damme all coked up, getting hookers one after the other. Stuff crazy. Like, you can hear him in the next room just like up for days, stuff like that. I think Jean-Claude has put himself through a lot. Lyoto versus Bisping. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be great. I'd be happy for those guys. Is there anything that bothers you about the UFC that would need to change? Lots. It's not my place, but it's like the whole everything being based on Twitter beefs is, that doesn't make me feel happy. Also, their production, they work from the point of view that there's all these casual fans watching, and then they create their coverage based on that belief. It's just not true. There's no such thing as a casual fan of anything anymore. How often do you guys ever watch anything you're not interested in? If it's on, even if somebody else has it on, you pick up your phone and you go see what The Rock is cooking on Instagram. Or you go on to Netflix and you start looking through the menu. Nobody ever watches anything they don't actively search for. So right there, you're starting by undermining your audience, by catering to a lesser informed audience that doesn't even exist. So that's a bad place to start. What is your go-to takedown? My go-to takedown is the body lock. Take his leg and drive it across the body and spin him that way. By far. I love that. I said I didn't know what fleek was because I'm an old man. And I said that it's a good thing, so I'm down. But I should go. I am going to pop up on Periscope and do a little hangout on there too. So if you guys are interested, you can find my Periscope at Robin Black MMA. I'll go hang out over there. In about an hour, I'm going to LA. There for the day. I'll do some other stuff from LA. And then I'll be back, hopefully doing some stuff with Mark, my guy Mark, by Thursday. Yuho Choi, what do you see for him? Yuho Choi's next fight is going to be terrifying. I'll be scared to be whoever he's fighting next. Hypothetical. Nate Nick. My feeling is no. There is this older brother thing that is there that would make it very difficult if all else is equal. Do you think Eddie Alvarez will get a contract deal made at the UFC? Yes, I do. Updates. What's in the future for me? Thank you for asking. Go to LA today. I come back next week. I'm home for a week. I'm going to just do a 1-minute breakdown every day and some stuff here on YouTube. Then I go to London June 9th for BKB 11, bare knuckle boxing, commentating that. You can see that live. I'll make sure to post stuff on my Instagram and stuff about it. Then June 22nd, I go to Ireland, where I'm doing my one-man show. Tickets are in the bio of my Instagram if anyone's from Ireland or any of their friends are. In July, I go to Wales. I'm also talking to One Championship about doing some work for them. I got some KSW coverage coming up for them. I work for TSN here, so I'm doing something on CM Punk actually, and what it is to come back from being humiliated, which I admire. I truly do. So I got a lot of cool stuff going on. Plus, I really was impressed with One Championship, so I would honestly consider committing heavily to them. So we'll see. But thank you. Duncan is fighting a former wrestler. very technical. I understand the basic. Um, yeah, you just have to you just have to deal with the realities of what it is. Aldo versus McGregor 2, break it down who wins and how. It'll never happen. Do Ho Choi right hand, I love it, man. This is fucking crazy, Rob. My question, for God's sake. Aldo versus McGregor 2, I don't know, man. I don't see that ever happening, but it's hard for Aldo. He'd be even more aggressive, and that's not what you want. Do you believe leg locks for white belts? Do not. People are announcing something about flags. It's not. I do not think leg locks for white belts, but that's just my preference. I'm old that way. But other people may disagree. I think if you're going to want to learn them, if it's going to be a big part of your game and you're very jiu-jitsu oriented. I froze here. Am I up? I don't know if we're frozen or not. But what's going on? There's a frozen part. But anyways, I don't know if you guys are still there or if I'm still here. But if so, I'm going to sign off now because of the freeze. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really do. It was super fun. And you really made my afternoon go smoothly. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Blackout.